Good. Hey EMP fans, look who we got here today. We've got Oscar from Hammerfall. How are you?
I'm pretty good, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah. Melting a little bit, but he's like kind of fresh, right?
Yeah, so this is nice.
Is it better here than outside, right?
Yeah, depends on what you're gonna do, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're used to it, right? Festivals, non-stop festivals.
Yeah, well, this is actually the hottest we've had all summer.
Oh my god, everybody's telling us the same, so perhaps we should change like the place for Leyendas so you guys can be a little bit more fresher, right?
It's alright. I would hate to play during the day here. That must suck for the people on stage.
Oh yeah, imagine playing at 4 p.m. over there with sun in your face.
I can't imagine that. That's
No. But you are going to play at night, so you're going to be fresher and you're going to be ready to rock as always.
Always.
Good, so let's go to the point directly. I'm going to talk about Dominion.
Right.
I want to know things about it, because you said that actually the composition, the production, everything you did on Dominion, it was like the 100% of you guys in there. So that's what makes this album powerful and special. And how did you do that? Because you get the 200% of it.
Well, you always try. Like our aim every time we start writing and recording a new album, it's to make the best heavy metal album that we can make, the perfect heavy metal album. We don't always succeed. I mean, if you actually did succeed, there would be nowhere to go but down afterwards. So I don't want to.
It's almost like a straight line, right?
Exactly. We're trying to make it as good as we can. And last time on Built to Last, we were stressed. It was both the songwriting process and the recording process was a little stressful. So we wanted to avoid this time. So I started writing songs really early. I wrote on tour. We both, Joachim and I had a really good back and forth with the stuff going on. And when we even rehearsed a couple of times for this album, which is, I don't know, I can't remember when we did that last time.
Oh really? So you never do that?
Not anymore. You know, it's been a long time actually.
Well, you've been playing together for a long time, right? So
we don't need. I mean, today you get a demo. You have everything mapped out. You don't need to play together for the recording, really. But it always helps the songs, which is why we did it. Because when you rehearse together, you find out small, nuances and subtle things. Maybe David play a little bit different here or whatever, stuff like that on the drums, for example. And then you can go back also because we recorded obviously, so we can go back and listen to it and change whatever needs to be changed for the actual recording.
Right.
So all these things put together, and also we were more or less done with the songwriting several months before the recording was supposed to start.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Keeps the stress away,
Yes, and you also we had the time, or rather we had the luxury to give the songs the time they need to mature.
Perfect.
And that I think also all the little details, those are the ones that make a good song great, or a great song legendary in the long run. Those are the ones that distinguish the songs, and we really had time to work on those details this time. And that's part of the reason why it sounds the way it does. Another part is because it was so stressless, we could definitely put all our energy into the actual recording. There was nothing going on around this time.
Oh, that's so great.
We had our own studio which we recorded in. There was no other band was knocking at the door.
Yeah, like it's my time, guys, you're late.
And if we wanted to, we could run long whenever we wanted to. We didn't need to. Really, we treated this as sort of a normal job this time. So we recorded from, let's say, 9 to 5 or 6 or 7, whenever we felt like now we're done for tonight or for today. Just let it go. Went to a hotel room where the studio is on my property, so I went into my own house.
Oh, that's great! You take a coffee and you go downstairs and you got the studio. It's ready for you.
It's really nice. Pontus has to fly in because he lives in Stockholm, but. We also did another thing. He went home for the weekends. Normally we just go through the weekends a couple of times and
just, like meeting each other.
Several days in a row. But we didn't have there was no need to do it that way. we had the luxury of just taking our time and pacing ourselves. So what we generally did was we recorded Monday morning to Friday afternoon, and then he flew home to Stockholm, had his, just let everything go for the weekend.
Oh, that's so great.
Came back on Monday morning, started again. And that helped so much because we were all really fresh when we recorded. We peaked basically when we were actually playing. It was easy. It sounds a little bit weird because when you have this a stressless environment, that's not really when you get the most energy out of it, really.
Yeah.
But it worked that way because we were able to channel the energy when we needed it instead of on the 1,000 different things that needed attention apart from the recording.
Yeah.
So when we actually were playing, we were playing with a lot of focus and a lot of energy, and that helped also with the final result of the album, what you feel when you listen to it. Those are the little things that for us as musicians, you can feel them. I think people feel them also, but they don't really know why they're feeling what they're doing.
They feel it, but they don't know what's behind.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like when I watch a movie, I can see what's going on. I can maybe understand a little bit, but I don't understand the full picture behind. Why. I feel it more than I see it. So I think that's, or you hear it more than you feel it, more than you. Feel it more than you see
it. It's
yes.
like perfect way to work, to get everything done, to be out of stress. You always having kind of stress when you're recording and all that stuff because you want to make it perfect,
yes.
right? Every time you want to make it perfect, as you said. But it's like this time, you guys nailed it.
Yeah, it was such. I don't think I've had a better time recording ever. It was fun.
Really, in all those years,
just was so nice. Yeah, we had some good times, of course. But this being our 11th album and feeling so fresh, that's what makes this the whole process so nice for us.
That's great. So you guys need to repeat the formula if you can for the next one.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question. We'll do it the same way.
Good, so let's talk about your first album, or it's your first single, which is We Make Sweden Rock.
Mm-hmm.
What did you choose? Why was the reason to choose that single? Because it's like kind of an allegory to like Swedish and Northern rock, right?
Yes, it is our tribute to the whole Swedish rock and metal genre that came out from the 60s and onwards, basically. Being from Sweden, we have all these bands that you may not have heard of over here, but they were a myriad of bands in the 80s and 90s, and it just kept getting more and more. And we wanted to shine a light on all of them, not just the bands that that people know, but also the bands that people may not know. For example, I learned that Universe is a really good band from the 70s, which I never heard of before.
Universe?
Yeah, Swedish band called Universe. It's a fucking great album. Really, really good album, which I discovered. I didn't know. I had never heard of them before. So I learned something as well in this process.
That's great.
And the reason why it was the first single was because we were playing at the Sweden Rock Festival. We wanted to have the song out before the festival, our performance there. So that's why that became the first single. I think that was a good idea also because it's a pretty nice. It's a nice vibe in the song. It's more party oriented than the rest.
And it's in Sweden, right? So it stays in the house.
Exactly.
That's great. So actually, something that you said, it's like there's a lot of Swedish bands, there's a lot of Northern bands. What's going on? Before we were talking about Germany, we were talking about Great Britain. We were talking about a lot of countries, but now it's like North is like ruling all them.
Yeah, Sweden has kind of taken over a little bit. But I don't really know the reason for this, other than the fact that there are a lot of people playing music and performing in Sweden. But one thing I think that the thing that makes me proud for Sweden and being a band or a musician from Sweden is that all of the bands that are active today. There are so many Swedish bands that are active, and really big, but they all sound like themselves. They have their own unique sound and personality, and that's something that's very unique. Because if you get any country, the bands listen to what's on top and they try to play the same thing. Whereas the Swedish musicians, they want to have their own individuality shine through. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but that's just the way people are, it seems.
Yeah.
So if you have bands like Sabaton or Hammerfall or Ghost or Evergrey or Arctic Superstar, Flames, Amaranth, just you can name tons of bands that are active right now, and all of them sound different from each other. Exactly. Yes. And that's the real strength of Swedish rock music.
yeah, I mean, you guys are taking over. It's your place, it's your turn, and let's be honest, we're enjoying it.
Yeah,
we're enjoying it, so thank you.
So are we.
So you guys. so actually, regarding to your existence in general, you always said like Kiss, the band Kiss, it's pretty much like the guilty ones, let's call them, for Hammerfall to exist.
Yeah, well, for me to get into rock music, I guess, not for Hammerfall to exist. That came a lot later. I started listening to Kiss early 80s, a long time before I thought anything about Hammerfall. But for sure, I mean, Kiss has always been with me since then. A big part of my teenage years was Kiss was the biggest band I knew. I collected everything with Kiss. It was
really? Were you like buying stuff and all?
I have everything still, of course.
Keep it.
Especially, I will never get rid of anything. But the thing that I like the most is I have a lot of bootlegs, and from that I'm vinyl, of course, CD bootlegs. But who cares? But the vinyl is the real deal. And those.
Yeah, it's back. It's back. Finally, it's back, guys.
It's never been gone. It's just like metal. It was never gone. You have to know where to look. That's it.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, you are right. I apologize. He's got the point here.
But yeah, so Kiss is still a big part of my life. Obviously, we saw them twice this year on their last tour.
You lucky.
I'm guessing. Yeah, it was. Sometimes, I mean, like I wanted to see the Halloween show last year, but I never got time. When they were in Sweden, I was on tour somewhere, and they were never on the same festivals that we were, so I missed that completely.
Oh.
This time, King Diamond and Kiss, two of my absolute favorite bands, we just seem to hit the same places sometimes. So I already seen King Diamond once. I'm going to see him next week again in Summer Breeze. Yeah, at Summer Breeze.
Yeah, we just saw him on the Resurrection Fest, and it was the first time for us, and it was like, wow! I mean, the show and the scene and it's everything. You are really into it, you know?
Yeah, there's something about King that brings me back to I become a child again.
Oh, that's nice. It's nice when you listen to someone and it's like you listen to music, you go back to the show 20, 30 years later after listening to music, and it's like, oh my God, I'm feeling like I'm 15 again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And that's why Merciful Fate is going to reunite next year, and I'm already got goosebumps.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know? They went official with that last week.
Okay, thank you for such a really good news. I mean, I'm going to be happy the rest of the month. Yeah, that's great.
And they're also going to play songs from the first two albums and the mini album before that. So just the early stuff.
Oh my God.
And look, I can't stop thinking about it. It's going to be so great. And that's one thing. Even if we're festivals and stuff and we don't connect somewhere, I'm going to go see them somewhere.
Yeah,
I have to.
Definitely. You need to see, because we don't know how much time are they going to be still together. You know that.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
So don't miss the chance now. 91.
Yes.
Yes, don't do it. So actually, from your last album, you said before that you had some kind of timing issues, you were stressed. Now everything is changed. You had your time. People were flying from weekends to the studio and all that stuff. But so you think that less pressure, better music?
I think less no, not necessarily. It's always good to have a little bit of pressure, like a deadline for something and stuff. You know, to get shit done.
You push yourself,
yes.
Right?
But one thing that I didn't mention, I started writing songs early, but also before I was convinced the only way I can write a good song is when I'm home in my own apartment, in my own house or my studio. I relax. I don't have anything to think about other than the songwriting that I'm doing right now. I don't have to think that the next week I'm going to go on tour somewhere, whatever, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You focus.
Relax. Yeah, exactly. But because I needed to start writing songs early, when we were touring a lot. I started the summer of 2017. I started writing songs, and we still had 2 more years to tour after that, you know, or more, 1.5 years. So I learned how to write songs on the road, which is
difficult task.
I didn't know I could do it. I just had to try because I had to get some songwriting in because we were touring so much. And it turns out that being on stage, I knew there was a real big adrenaline kick for you. But what I didn't know was how easy it was going to be to channel that into songwriting, because like the excitement and the adrenaline is still in your body when you get off stage. I wrote several songs on the road just from this part alone, and also when you're on the road, you're kind of, you know, during the day there's not much to do. You get a lot of free time and
so
stuff. So you have time. Yeah, exactly. So you can either after the show or during the day. It depends. Maybe you get an idea after the show that you develop the next day when you have the time to. Sometimes that happened too.
Good.
And I also brought my rig. I have a small guitar called a Traveler's guitar, which fits in my suitcase. So it's incredible. I got it in the trailer now.
When you said like this, like a little one, I was imagining like kind of a ukulele size.
No, it's not that small. It's basically what it is the neck is a 22 fret standard size for like a normal size. More or less, and the body and everything else is as small as possible, and you can
travel with it
easily. So I brought it to every vacation I went to with my family. I brought it out, so when my girlfriend put our child to bed in one corner of the hotel room, I was in another corner writing songs, and that was also surprisingly effective. I have to say probably at least 50% of this album outside of the studio. It's a lot because I didn't expect to write even 1% outside of this comfort zone.
And there you go, you got like the half.
Yeah, and it was so much fun to do it this way, because once creativity is when it's flowing, when the momentum is going, it's like the best thing in the whole world. It makes you feel so good about yourself. And when you can keep writing that way, that's basically what I could do now, because if you stop writing when you're on tour, maybe it takes a while to get it started again. But if you never stop, you're always there. So and that's something I try to keep in mind. I haven't started writing songs. I tried a little bit yet so far this year, but it's been a stressful summer because of a lot of festivals, the album release coming up. Didn't have really a lot of time to calm down first. I need to relax and get a little bit of distance to this album, and then we can start doing the next one.
Just do nothing, relax a little bit, and focus for the next thing.
Yes.
So I'm curious about your cover. I want to know if there's any message hidden with Hector there. I just want to know if there's something that I missed out.
No, there's no real message. The artist who did the cover, Samwise, he works for Blizzard Entertainment, the company who makes World of Warcraft and all those stuff. And he's done covers for us since 2002, the first time, and we've never been to the Blizzard headquarters before. But he invited us for a tour in January last year, and we went. It was brilliant. It was really nice. They had artwork.
Like covers from World of Warcraft and all that stuff.
Everything on every wall. There's shit going on.
Invite us next time. I want to be there.
It's really, really nice. I don't think they let anybody in, but they have tours as well, I think. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think so anyway. Let's don't quote me on that.
We can just Google it and find it out.
But it was really, really nice. And on one of the walls was a painting from, I don't know if they ever used it or not, but it was something that sparked Joachim's and my interest right away. Like, this is a really cool painting, which was the basis for the album cover that you see now. Because Sam was on that tour with us and took us around the facilities, and he said, half jokingly, I guess, like, what about a demon Hector, an evil Hector, or something next time? And we're like, yeah, that's a really good idea. And so we started riffing on that a little bit. And when it came time for him to do that artwork, he had also lots of ideas for this. And so that's where this whole idea came about. And we had named the album Dominion, which is a song of the album, which is about or inspired by the Paradise Lost novel, the Milton novel, which also is a little bit in this area in general. Hell area. So everything just sort of fit together, but there's no like hidden message or anything. It's just a good combination of all the aspects.
Okay, I'm happy now. Now I know that I didn't miss anything when I was looking at the cover, trying to find something, you know.
No, there's no hidden stuff in there. No.
Perfect.
Not that I know of. You know, maybe Sam put some. He's a crafty fella. He might have put something in there.
Maybe we need to Google that too. I'm gonna do a list after this. I'm just gonna do a list of what we need to Google today.
Yes, it might be a good idea actually.
Okay, so we're gonna listen to some Dominion songs today. Please say yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, good.
Of course. being the era of internet and smartphones, obviously we're not going to play anything that's not released yet. Because then it would be online or live stream, maybe already online right after the show, and that's the drawback of that. I don't like that. You can't really try anything new out anymore, because if you do, and people are going to put it online, and then it's out for everybody.
And then it's
I don't like that part really, but. It's only a month, only a week from today until the album comes out, so we don't have to wait that much longer.
Yeah, we're just counting the days. We're just counting days.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I want to know about Spain, because you've been tons of times here, guys.
Yes.
How are we treating you? Are we treating you alright? Is there something that we can do better?
No, it's
apart from the weather, I'm sorry, we cannot manage that.
Well, this is better than a rainy
festival in Wagen full of
No,
mud.
yeah, I meant no. Actually, to be honest, playing in countries like Spain and Italy and France as well, at least south of France, where they normally have no heating inside. Then going there in January, which we have done quite a few times, that when it's actually colder inside than it's outside, because the cold stays there.
I completely understand.
But what we're trying to do, we're going to come back next year. We just don't know exactly when or how, but we will.
Okay, because I just was going to ask you that. If you're coming back.
That's the plan, for sure.
Okay.
If it doesn't work out, something went wrong, but we're definitely trying.
So we're going to see Hammerfall next year, definitely coming back in Spain. Fingers crossed, guys. So, do you have any message for your Spanish fans that are watching you now?
Yeah, cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers on your back.
No, but I mean, it's been a long relationship. We played our first show here in '97 in Spain on the Gamma Ray tour.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago. It's always been brilliant. You know, it's fantastic. Spain has been one of the countries where, because we have played there for such a long time, it's always nice to come back. And people are on the south part of Europe and South America. People are a little bit more outgoing when they go to the shows. They are not afraid to shout and scream and get involved and stuff. You know,
we're allowed. Like, definitely.
And this is something that every person on stage loves, you know, and we love the interaction with people when they sing along or just go crazy when they hear their favorite song or whatever. Yeah, just the give and take that's going on, and we have really good fans for that. So thank you so much for that, and hope to see you in Spain. Let's say the first 6 months of next year.
Good. We're waiting for you guys. Thank you very much.